of us to go to the legislature. So I'm going to give him an opportunity. This today is introduction. We want to have many times and many years, months and days that we can work together. I think it's a great opportunity today to just to come to the community, this part of the world that we live in, because we never go to the downtown because so many hassles, or to the legislature. So I'm going to give him opportunity to explain, because he's been the leader of the Alberta Party for a while, and he can tell us, he's going to introduce us and also tell us what should we expect from our Alberta Party, what's the difference, and he will tell us right now. Thank you.
Thank you. After him, open discussion.
Okay.
It's going to be wonderful. Yes, thank you very much. And thank you to all of you for the opportunity to be here. And you know, just at the beginning here, we were talking about what the objective of tonight's session is. And I think it's about building relationships. And I hope that's exactly what it is. And Mohammed, just to pick up on what you were saying there about the legislature, it's not a very long drive from here to the legislature. And I would want you all to know that you're welcome. You're welcome. And that is Alberta's building. You are Albertans. It is your building as much as it is anyone else's. And we're sitting tomorrow, Thursday, probably Monday, and probably Tuesday of next week. And so I offer an open invitation to any and all of you. If you'd like to join us in the legislature for question period, it starts at 1:30. It also goes in the mornings, and it also, as you know now, it goes in the evenings as well. Most of this stuff you'll see on the news, the yelling back and forth of the question period, that's around 1:30. But in all absolute genuine sincerity, we'd love to have you inside the legislature instead of just protesting on the steps. But to each of you, I would extend a personal invitation, and I'll leave a pile of business cards here as well if you'd like to get in touch. Karen and I would love to host you, and you see the process.
And if I may,
Please.
we'd be very proud to introduce you in question period as well. So there's an opportunity at the beginning of question period to introduce guests, and we'd be happy to say your names and have everyone's clap for you to be there.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now you can expect me now.
Good. That's what it's for. That's why it's there. No, and you know, as Mohammed had said earlier on, one of the things that's very important to us in the Alberta Party is that we build genuine relationships with people in communities all over the province, not just in 3 months before an election, and not just to make promises to get people out to mark an X on a ballot. That is democracy, but I think democracy is far more than that. It should be something that happens every single day. And my sincere hope is that within the Alberta Party, as we grow and expand, that communities like the Somali community and many, many others are active participants in building and developing what the Alberta Party is, what we are now and what we become. And I think the only way we're going to truly reflect what Alberta is by having people who are from all different communities and all different walks of life actively participating in our party, because it's your party as much as it is ours. You raised a good point about platform. That's an important question. What exactly do we stand for? What are we going to do if we're elected? Those are very important questions. I have some answers to some of those things. I can offer some specifics, but equally important, that is an opportunity for each of you to participate in developing that platform. So we're working now on a policy convention. I don't think we've quite set a date yet. It will either be later on in the spring, sort of May timeframe, possibly. Perhaps in the fall of next year. That hasn't quite been settled yet, but that's certainly one very formal opportunity to participate in creating policy and developing and shaping what the Alberta Party becomes. But there are other opportunities to do so along the way by being part of a constituency association, by being part of policy committees leading into that, and providing feedback to Karen and I about issues that matter to you that we can bring up in the legislature or that we can bring up with the government. If there are specific areas that you would like us to advocate for on your behalf, we're very happy to do so. That is our job. And it's also something that, although it's only the two of us in the legislature, it is something that, well, we have an opportunity there, I think, to hold the government accountable and also to propose ideas. So if I were to just talk briefly about what the Alberta Party really is all about, it is about not just simply opposing government policy because we find ourselves in the opposition side of the House. It is important we hold the government to account, that they do the things they said they were going to do. If they're off base with what we think they're doing, to call them out on that. But in our estimation, that's only half of the job. The other half of the job is proposing ideas and say, well, we don't like what you're doing here, but here's an opportunity. Here's a condition we've observed in our communities. We don't think that's the way it should be. Why don't we do this? Here's an opportunity for the government to take some action. And we can meet with ministers, we can write letters, we can follow up with them and really push them to act. We can't promise they'll actually do what we ask. For that, we need to actually get ourselves elected. But that's our style and that's our approach. So we define the Alberta Party as a centrist party. We believe in good fiscal management of our province. We need to make sure that the money that is sent to the provincial government is well spent, and I think that's a core Albertan value. It doesn't necessarily, though, mean spending the least amount of money possible. What it means is getting the best value for the money we do spend, to truly invest in things that matter, like education in particular, but also healthcare, and to think more preventatively about healthcare, not just reacting, but preventing people from getting ill in the first place, dealing with mental health questions, with addictions, thinking of those social determinants of health and wellness, and really putting resources in places that are going to help people stay healthy and avoid getting sick. And when we talk about the social side of things, in addition to our obligation to communities, we're socially moderate. So we're not going to be off in the same place as the UCP on some of their fairly extreme social views. And that's, I think, where Albertans are. We're in the middle. We're in that centrist space. So we're in the process of developing our party. We're growing very quickly, as Mohammed said, and I'm sure you know. I have stepped back from the leadership to give Albertans an opportunity to join the party to help truly shape the party. So that's another very important process that you can participate in. I'm confident we're going to see a number of very good candidates step forward for leadership, and by the end of February we'll have a new leader in place. Whether I run or not is not yet exactly settled or determined. I am still working and talking with my family about whether I in fact will pursue, but I'm absolutely committed to be part of the Alberta Party, as I have been for 4 or 5 years now, and will absolutely do this sort of thing no matter what, whether I run for leader, whether I win leadership, whether I don't run for leader. These are the sorts of things that energize me. I love just talking with people and hearing what they have to say and what we can possibly do to help move all Alberta communities forward. So perhaps with that, I'll pause and we can have some roundtable discussion. Karen, do you want to say a few words now, or do you want to?
Whatever works.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why don't we do that? Yeah.
Great. I don't have a lot to add to that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I think the only thing that I want to add to what Greg was talking about is that I really commend you for what you're doing today, having us here. I think it's a really good strategy, and to really encourage you to participate in developing those policies that you're talking about that are important to your communities. It's a good way to get involved. I have seen what you've spoken about earlier in other campaigns where connections are made with communities for that campaign and then they're broken, they're quickly forgotten. But if you're in on the ground floor and you're part of that policy making process, it's much easier to have your voice heard that way, and I really admire you for taking that initiative. I think that's really smart. And just to echo what Greg was talking about earlier, we're always happy to listen to what you have to say, and again to extend the invitation to you to come and join us at the legislature. It would be a real pleasure to see you there.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much.
From right now, we're going to shut down the microphone. We will have a friendly discussion so that you can ask whatever issue you have toward the MLAs.